Welcome to today's deep dive. We've got a really fascinating source today. It sits at this very strange intersection of biohacking and prayer.
Yeah, it is definitely a unique angle for sure. We are analyzing the faithful fasting formula.
Right.
The source material is essentially a narrative sales presentation, but it reads a lot like a memoir combined with a pharmacological breakdown.
Exactly. Our mission today is to dig into the backstory of the creator, Christopher Georgi, this ancient secret he supposedly found, and the actual science of the ingredients. So jumping right in, the core promise here is pretty bold. It is a dietary supplement designed specifically to help you fast for religious reasons.
Right, the idea is basically to mute the physical noise of the body so you can hear the spiritual signal.
And the source spends a ton of time establishing the why behind all this. It starts in a pretty dark place. Christopher and his wife, Alexandria, struggled with severe infertility.
Yeah, 4 miscarriages. The text paints a picture of a man who feels totally abandoned by God. His prayers are just...
bouncing off the ceiling.
Exactly, bouncing off the ceiling.
Which leads him to a turning point. He fixates on Matthew 6.1 scene in the Bible, when you fast. Not if, but when.
He took that as a biblical imperative. He became convinced that to get a spiritual breakthrough, he needed to master fasting. But, as I'm sure you listening can relate to, he hits a wall.
The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Right. He tries to fast, but the physiology just takes over. He actually describes this specific incident at work where he's trying to abstain. A coworker offers him a slice of pepperoni pizza, and he just caves.
The classic hangry response.
It is. Blood sugar crashes, ghrelin spikes. He felt like a total failure because his willpower couldn't override his biology.
So he takes a pretty drastic step. He flies all the way to the Holy Land.
A week of prayer and fasting in the desert. He's volunteering to repair a wall at an ancient monastery, doing heavy manual labor in the heat.
Which sounds impossible if you're already struggling to skip lunch. But he notices something about the monks, specifically Brother Matthias.
Right. Matthias isn't struggling at all. He's energetic, focused. Christopher spots him taking a pinch of this dry herbal mixture from a pouch to suppress his hunger.
The ancient secret trope.
Exactly. Now, the abbot initially refuses to share the formula. But when Christopher opens up about his infertility struggles, the abbot relents.
So he brings the secret back and modernizes it. Let's pivot to the actual science here. What is actually in the bottle?
This is where we need to parse the marketing from the mechanism. The blend relies heavily on Caralluma fimbriata.
An edible cactus from India, right?
Correct. Historically used as famine food, hunters would chew it to suppress their appetite during long trips. The active compounds block the enzymes that form fat, forcing the body to burn reserves. That signals the brain that it's full.
Okay, so that handles the stomach growling, but what about the irritability?
That is addressed with Griffonia simplicifolia,
which is a source of 5-HTP.
Right. 5-HTP is a precursor to serotonin. When you stop eating, your serotonin drops, leading to that bad mood. This ingredient tries to stabilize your mood chemically so you don't snap at people while you pray.
They also include albuterol extract.
That's an adaptogen. Think of an adaptogen like a thermostat for stress. It helps regulate cortisol. Fasting is a massive physical stressor, so this prevents the fatigue crash.
Plus St. Mary's thistle for liver detox and hormonal balance.
And a cluster of ingredients for blood sugar. Salacia oblonga and Gymnema sylvestre.
To blunt the sugar absorption?
Yes. If you don't get those huge blood sugar spikes and drops, you don't get the intense sugar cravings, like the one that made Christopher eat that pizza.
I also see cayenne and black pepper in the profile.
Standard bioavailability boosters. They boost your metabolism and help you absorb the other nutrients.
So looking at it, it's not magic dust. It is a targeted stack of appetite suppressants, mood stabilizers, and glucose regulators.
Precisely. It's a chemical support system for a spiritual practice.
And according to the presentation, it completely worked for them. They successfully fasted. Christopher claims a deep spiritual renewal. They lost weight. And the emotional climax is that they eventually had 4 children.
Angelica, Elijah, Gabriel, and Jeremiah. Now they sell this formula. It's manufactured in the USA, GMP certified, taken as 2 capsules daily, and backed by a 180-day guarantee.
They also attached a charity component.
10% of the proceeds go to back-to-back ministries for orphan children, tying right back to their own infertility struggles.
It's a really fascinating deep dive because they are effectively validating the biological difficulty of a spiritual discipline.
It admits that willpower alone often fails against biology.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. Fasting, traditionally, is about sacrifice. It is about the struggle of the flesh. If you hack your biology with a supplement to completely remove the hunger, the irritability, and the fatigue, does that enhance your spiritual connection? Or does removing the physical sacrifice essentially turn a sacred discipline into just skipping lunch comfortably? Where exactly is the line between biohacking and actual devotion?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Something to consider next time you try to build a new discipline. Thanks for diving in with us today.